Hello. It seemed like I could hear myself well enough. The little green dots, little green dots, little green dots. Green dots ain't moving. Well, we're not sure about those little green dots. But there it went. But okay, that's probably good. Seems like I can hear myself and enjoy too. Uh so uh so I have another lesson plan here today, but I wanted to get started off with sort of the more and talking a little bit more about the underlying psychology of computer science. What I may or may not be good at could be the human psychology. This is my cat here. He has different psychology, also male, but cat psychology different than mine, presumably, maybe. Who knows? What's up, dude? So, so, uh, so let's see. Okay, computer science. Let's see. Computer science is a topic about science and using computers for science and stuff. So, so programming becomes like a, kind of a topic in computer science because computers need to be programmed by humans. So, I think if you just believe in yourself, believe in yourself, that you can, subdued. So if you- so I was saying like, you know, that that if you just type in some code, uh, you gets to the point you want to be careful at points, but just believe in yourself, keep believing in yourself and learning to program. So the topic of this course, I was gonna start kind of more introductory, like that. I know you know what I'm talking about, but not everyone is familiar even with the keyboard and mouse. The like the output is like the screen, or the screen and the speakers. I live inside your computer. I'm a little person. I live inside your computer, but you're crazy. Caveat. The caveats mean it's a Latin derived English word or something. A lot of the documentation will have a little caveat section. What that means is uh, thing other stuff stuff you might want to know about in the documentation. Caveats are uh, like drawbacks or limitations of that software. In the manual pages, there's often a caveat section, and it's like, what's that word? Well, caveats. Uh, so I have nothing written again. What I was going to start off with was a description of the keyboard. So, like the keyboard has like keys on it. You press one, then sends like a signal through the machinery. Probably doesn't work by magic, but like believing in yourself goes a long way. But like it's probably not magic. I don't think. Like I have pretty thorough understanding. There's little switches under here, send signals to little networks of switches and stuff. They're actually based around a transistor, which is not a switch. It's actually more like a dimmer switch, like for a light or something. A transistor is more like a dimmer switch, but we use them as switches in digital electronics, uh, just like a light switch or something. So, so you press a key, tick, 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 and it puts out that letter. Then being good at spelling English words or other. I'm going in English here for the video, but being able to spell is not a must, but it helps remember like uh, how to program if you're typing the exact correct program code for whatever. Like, so I wanted to start out with that and not like assume anything. I'm not like trying, it's just like there could be anyone watching this, maybe they don't even speak English. The English language uses an alphabet without any symbols above or below the letters. Letters A through Z, that's the alphabet. That's extracurricular. If you don't know the English alphabet, you can look that up online. But I'm gonna show you a few particular letters here. Uh, so so the first letter of the English alphabet is the letter A. Can be written different ways, kind of, um, and could be written in cursive. I'm not that good at cursive. Uh, yeah, no, that's like I'm not that good at cursive handwriting. It's I don't know. It's something a lot of people value. I I think cursive looks pretty sometimes. So like this this is the letter A in the English alphabet, written backwards. Maybe is that backwards? That has to do with sort of the video technology looking correct. If it shows up backwards, that's going to be difficult for me to figure out how to write backwards now. But well, the A looks the same either way. The capital A, I mean, looks the same either way, forwards or backwards. No, quite what happened there. I do need reliable internet to stream. It's so I'm out here in the boonies. We got internet. We do out here in the boonies. We love our internet out here. We love our internet out here, man. Don't be screwing around. Nothing. So this is the letter A in the English alphabet. Then and this is the grade you're going to get if you watch all my videos, on the course. Don't watch all my other videos, maybe. So then another English letter is the letter B. It's probably good enough to draw some examples here. This is due to the limitations of the video technology that has to be displayed backwards because it looks more correct to people. So it's just like what's gonna look more correct, gotta anticipate that. So the B, that's an English letter B written backwards here. From my perspective, I'm not sure how it's gonna display on YouTube or what, or on your screen or what. This is the English letter B, capital B, lowercase b, makes a B sound. A makes an A kind of E sound. Uh, B is like B, like consonant B. Now, the letter C. This is a simpler letter because the capital letter and the lowercase letter just kind of look big and small. So C, there's the C, but as a letter can make like a K sound, can make like a S sound. It's it's a little different there. The letter C. Now I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to the letter T. This is the letter T in the English language. It's got some little variations, different ways you might see it written. So there's like a capital T. A couple examples of how a lowercase t might be written backwards. To my, I'm seeing it backwards here, and it does kind of end up looking more correct in some cases for it to look backwards. It's just like kind of a video technology kind of. I'm not sure why it's backwards here. But I wanted to explain at least the letters A, B, and C. Or B is kind of like extraneous, but in the English alphabet it goes A, B, C. Skip ahead, get the T. Then I wanted to explain the word cat. So the word cat is just spelled CAT, and that's an English word uh, for little animals, little animal uh, little animal called a cat in English. And this segues nicely into the Unix programming environment. So if you have a Unix like type operating system at all, uh, it probably, well, it's a fair bet. Well, that's kind of what makes it Unix like too, is that it has something to type into and run kind of Unix type stuff in it. The Unix operating system is the Unix programming environment. And that's also extracurricular. There's a book, The Unix Programming Environment, good book. I haven't read all of it, but it's a good description of like old school Unix from I think it was a thing by like 1970. It was definitely like a thing by 1970. So cat is basically the epitome of like the Unix programming environment, the Cat program. So cat it's kind of stands for, and it's like not an English word, helps to be able to spell it, remember how to spell it, and remember stuff about it. There are manual pages in the system on the cat program. The man program can tell you about the manual pages for man or cat or anything else that has a manual page. So the cat program uh, is kind of it's concatenation. What that means that so like if you have like files on the system, and that gets complicated too. Like what a file is on Unix kind of is not what a lot of people are accustomed to regarding like uh, uh, desktop computers. Uh, like on a Unix like operating system, uh, I hesitate to say there are different types of files, but there can be synthetic files. So what a synthetic file is like not like a stored file. So this is going to be a stored file somewhere, presumably, uh, somewhere in the Google or the YouTube cloud storage, or however it ends up, that there's like a stored uh, uh, file somewhere. And what storage really means, like, what does that mean? It just means that it's like somewhere so that people can access it by clicking on my YouTube and watching my YouTube or something. But the Unix like uh, operating systems can have synthetic files. So what those mean is like it would be quite out of my way and kind of like something I wouldn't want to uh, spend that much time doing. But you could like link up like a bunch of like Unix like systems and stuff so that you had like a shared file over the network or something on your Windows 10 computer or something. It says like webcam.jpg. Double click it, the JPEG opens up and it just shows like a still frame of whatever the webcam is showing at the moment. And you close it, open it again, it's different. It's a synthetic file. It's not like a stored file. It comes straight from the webcam. You double click it, webcam.jpg, you double click it, and up comes uh, you know, a still frame from the webcam. So, so the Cad program is a very simple Unix Unix derived program from a long time ago that concatenates files. So what that means is if you just type cat, it's just going to concatenate the standard input file, which is actually a file. It's a device file in /dev somewhere, uh, or it can be, Unix like. Uh, so you just type cat, and it just concatenates the standard input to the standard output. So what that means is if you just type cat by itself, then it's just gonna you type something in, it's gonna type it back out to you. Just like type cat, start typing into cat, and it'll just type the same thing back to you. it does more than that. Like if you give it a bunch of files as parameters after it, it'll ignore standard input. Usually, is what it does, and it'll take all those files and display them in the order that you gave them as parameters to the cat program. Uh, some other good things to know, like on most Unix-like operating systems, you can give, like if you are in the cat program, you can give the end of file. The end of file character is kind of a different, special kind of character that like it's represented in different ways at different times. Like that, a lot of the time, just sending a character that's like all of the characters line up to like a numerical value, even in Unicode, which is more complicated than ASCII, even in 8-bit, which is a little bit more complicated than ASCII. Uh, um, the end of file character is a signal that you send to cat to say like, hey, I'm done putting stuff into this file. Usually you type control D. Control D will and that actually is numerical value 4 usually. uh, Gives a signal to the program to that you're done putting stuff into the file. uh, and also another good thing is like that you can use cat also to make a file. So the way that you would do that on a Unix-like operating system is to well, there's uh, actually that's a good segue into something else. So there, if you want to make a very new file, you don't want to overwrite a file or anything. You want to make a new file. Uh, you would use the redirect, the file redirect character for overwriting a file. Actually, be careful with this one. And I'm gonna name that file file or file.txt. That's a good file name. So that the way that would work is if you type this into cat into file.txt, and then start typing stuff, then it will not display on standard output because standard output has been redirected to file.txt. Uh, so uh, other things that you can do, like there's a pipe character, there's a redirect input character, and there's a redirect append thing, and that's different. So if you don't want to overwrite file.txt, but you want to keep putting stuff at the end of file.txt, then you give it this. You give it two of those little things, two of those characters, two in a row, into that to append at the end of file.txt. So you are putting them into the end of file.txt. Now, all of this kind of stuff doesn't have to do with the cat program. This is dependent on the shell, and there are a bunch of different types of shells, and there are a bunch of different types of shells, but this is pretty standard to like it's a pretty standard way that a shell is gonna work. That so like common shells, sh is kind of the definitive kind of Unix like shell. It's just, what do you call that as sh? What kind of shell is that? I don't know. Sh. Uh, so let's see. The pipe, the redirect character. So or that's what am I saying there? They're all redirect characters. The redirect characters are that one I showed. The other one in the other direction is for input. For cat, you don't need that, but for just the shell, you would need that. And what that means is like So what I mean by that is like if you just type like if you just type this cat file.txt, it's gonna just concatenate file to standard output. That's it. It's just gonna take the file.txt, put it out to standard output, and exit. That's all. But with the shell, you can also or here, I'll show you what I wrote. I mean, is it backwards too? Anyways, so what I wrote is cat file.txt. That'll if you have something in file.txt, cat it. It's just gonna print out what's in file.txt. Um, another way that you can do that is cat uh with the input redirect character, which is the same thing backwards. So cat file.txt. This is different because cat file.txt is the is the this is this one is using the shell input. So the slight difference here is that this does not rely on the shell. It does not rely on the shell. This is just cat running how it always runs, but on cat's standard input, file.txt is being put into cat's standard input and then going to standard output. So it ends up looking the same when you just type it at the shell, but there's a distinction here that this is using the shell's redirection capabilities, and this is just using the cat program. That's it. Another thing that's worth mentioning is the pipe character. So the pipe character redirects standard output to standard input. So that's like this is like I know there's like connotations with horror films. I haven't even seen them. Fuck them. Or it's not labeled for kids. I just this is the pipe character. So this is just the cat program 3 times, and it's just going to do the same thing. Cat or the same thing as just typing cat. So the first cat is just going to do what it does, same as the cat program does, and its standard output is gonna go to the standard input of another uh, cat process. That's the difference between a process and a program. The cat is a program. It's a stored program somewhere, and these are 3 instances of it being run as as 3 separate cat processes. So cat just does what it does, as I explained, and its standard output goes to the standard input of another cat program. Standard output of that cat program goes to the standard input of another cat program, which finally puts its standard output out to the shell where you can see it. If you're thinking anything untoward here, you have a sick mind and you watch too much TV. So I guess another thing worth mentioning. Well, that I think that covers some things here. Like that's the cat program. The cat program is very definitive Unix program. It's really like cat is like a simple program. Like what is cat for? Well, I just told you what it's for, and it serves as like a building block in the shell, and that's why it's the Unix programming environment, because you learn your shell well, then you learn a bunch of these simple programs. They're building blocks, put them together in the shell. You got the Unix programming environment. Uh, so so yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess that's like I kind of wanted to talk for half an hour here. Let me think. Is there anything else? I did. I wanted to explain something that I need representation over at the library because I'm almost sure that I have an overdue book and I've lost it. I can get a replacement book, but it won't have the records, the official library records in it. I feel I feel ashamed of myself. Let me think. Something. So you got to be. I don't know. What do you have to be good at here? It's just I don't know. Practice. I have to be good at practicing this. Uh, I don't know. Uh, spelling words helps. You learn how to spell words, and like you don't want to have to be remembering too much. Otherwise, why do you want a computer anyway? Uh, or notebook or anything. Uh, I don't know. Probably. Maybe. I guess. Does the class have any questions? I don't know. Let me think. Was there anything else I wanted to address? I think that's. I don't know. Maybe just dismiss the class early for today. Maybe check out Discord. Uh, Class dismissed. You all get an A for the day. Have a nice day. Let me see here.